good? It's your boy 2K here. Shout out to the movement and everybody who's moving with us. Also, man, shout out to my real riders, my real, true, loyal people over at 3kingsboxing.com. Go over there and get the latest and greatest if you haven't already. So, as reported earlier by 3kingsboxing.com, Shakur Stevenson strikes again. Now, I made a video about him going at Floyd Mayweather's daughter, Ayanna Mayweather, and that still is the most viewed video on my channel, and a lot of people seem to understand where I was coming from when it comes to a lot of these young guys today and how they react to women, right? And I told you that Shakur Stevenson was out of pocket in that situation. While Ayanna Mayweather did need to be checked for her behavior over social media, the links that Shakur Stevenson went to basically degrade her on social media was out of pocket compared to what she said to him. You know what I'm saying? And based on what has happened to him early Sunday morning in Miami, Florida, he has no problem hitting females. Now, I will say this. There isn't a lot of information that has come out about how the altercation ensued. The only thing we have is that some words were said from Shakur Stevenson and David Grayton, who's also a professional fighter. They both had some words to a group of people that involved some females in that group, and both parties sustained injuries. That includes the females. Now, my thing is this. We don't have reports about there being men involved in this altercation. There were some men there, but they're not really reporting on men being the ones that's injured, right? They're just saying some people that involved women were also injured. My point is, Shakur Stevenson and David Grayton got into a situation where somehow, with them being involved, some women were injured. And this, of course, is after they allegedly gave them some sexual innuendos. Basically, for you dumb motherfuckers out there, they said some inappropriate things in a sexual manner to these two females, or multiple females, that is. Here's the thing. If the women hit them first and they reciprocated, hey, it is what it is, right? But if it's a situation where Shakur Stevenson, who was out of pocket on Twitter, was possibly out of pocket again in person, I'm telling y'all right now, man, the kid has to make better decisions. I mean, regardless of who did what first, Shakur Stevenson's got to make better decisions anyway. You know what I'm saying? He's a very talented fighter. I would love to see him fight Michael Conlan, a fight that was supposed to happen in 2016 in the Olympics. But of course, Michael Conlan was robbed. I would love to get that fight in the professional ranks. Shakur Stevenson is backed by one of the most respectable promotional companies there is. While Bob Arum is seen as a snake, and he is snaky at times, motherfucker is a crook. Hell, majority of promoters are snaky, right? But Bob Arum is like head snake, you know what I'm saying? And Todd DeBuff, those guys are on record as saying, hey, once we build a fighter, we don't give a fuck about him anymore. Todd DeBuff's on record saying that anyway, right? So, while these guys are somewhat looked at as men who aren't very honorable, they are still a very big entity that's backing Shakur Stevenson as his promotional company. Therefore, they will have enough clout in getting Shakur Stevenson where he wants to be. He's just got to want it. He's got to be focused enough to want to take himself there, right? And that's the situation, man. You can't get into these brawls in a fucking parking garage in Miami after you just finished partying with a bunch of women and some dudes. You can't do that as a professional fighter, as a prize fighter, as a highly talented fighter who is seen as possibly going to be a champion in his near future. You have to avoid dust-ups like that, right? I mean, just look at how he's acting with Devin Haney. Devin Haney is doing his own thing. Right now, he's fucking Black China. Probably one of the dumbest decisions he's made, you know, in his life. I don't know the kid, but that one right there is a very dumb decision, getting into bed with Black China. But, you know, Shakur Stevenson has been trolling the shit out of Devin Haney on Twitter. He's made videos trolling him. Devin Haney has responded over social media, but there's videos of Devin Haney saying, hey, man, the kid is still bothering me, but I'm doing what I'm doing. I think Devin Haney is 2 fucking divisions higher than him. I think Devin Haney's at 135. Shakur Stevenson's at 126. You know what I'm saying? They got junior lightweight in between him. You know what I'm saying? And Devin Haney's only, what, 19, 20 years old, so he's going to get bigger than that. He'll probably cap out at 147, maybe even 154. I mean, he's going to be a bigger guy than Shakur Stevenson. So that fight most likely will not happen. But Shakur seems steadfast on trying to push, you know, the fact that he's going to be the aggressor in this particular exchange. And it's not worth it. Michael Collin is who you should be calling out. Y'all are both promoted by the same guy, the same entity, right? Michael Collin is actually doing better than you are in terms of how his popularity is increasing. Hell, Michael Collin just fucking headlined his first card in his hometown of Belfast, Ireland, right? A fucking 8-round fight that was the main event. But we had 12 and 10-round fights as the undercards, right? That's how popular Michael Collin is getting over Shakur Stevenson. He should be focused on that guy and all the other guys at 126 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. This just further proved my point that Shakur Stevenson is out of control. He needs to learn how to control his emotions. He needs to learn how to understand that he is a guy who is in a situation that a lot of people would like to be in, right? Whether they're whether they're amateur fighters right now and they're looking to become professional fighters later on, or if you're looking at the financial aspect, right? The potential financial aspect that he is set to gain if he can, you know, head his career in the right direction, right? This kid could be the next big star if he wants to be, and he could rake in millions. So people who aren't even boxers are still looking at him like, yeah, man, I wish I could be in that situation where I have an opportunity to make millions. You know what I'm saying? So he's got to get his head on straight. He's 21 years old. As I said in the other video, man, when you're 21 years old, you're no longer a kid. Hell, when you're 18, you're no longer a kid. You know, the era I grew up in, man, we was working at 14 and 15 years old. A lot of us was on the farms and shit working. If your family owned land like that and y'all did some farming, or, you know, if you know, you grew up in the projects, you know what I'm saying, you grew up in the hood and shit, and you had to go out and work to help support your family with your parents. You know, we would be out there working at 14 and 15. That's my story. You know what I'm saying? I was out there working because, you know, we didn't have the money to basically, for me to do the things that I wanted to do as a teenager. So I got out there and worked. And I learned how to grow up fast. I had to grow up fast. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I remember when I was 9 years old, man. 9 years old. I'm 9 years older than my younger sister. I had to stay at home and watch her while all my friends would go to birthday parties and all that shit. I'm in the back room, my parents' room, watching my baby sister, changing her diaper, feeding her. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have the means. My parents had to work. I had to stay at home with my baby sister at 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these motherfuckers, man, these young kids, man, they don't know nothing about that. They don't know nothing about the real struggle. They want to act like they do because they want to personify, or at least they want to take on the personality of somebody they heard, you know, in a trap song, or, you know what I'm saying, they seen in a movie like Power. You know what I'm saying? They want to take that particular personality and embed it as their own. But in reality, that's not how it really is for them, and that's not how it really was for them. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know Shakur Stevenson grew up in New Jersey. I used to live in New Jersey. So I know the areas, I know some of the areas of New Jersey. You know what I'm saying? And depending on where he was at, you know, even if he was in the hood, he could have been one of those guarded kids. There's a lot of kids in the hood that, you know, some of the OGs will make sure nothing happens to them because they have an opportunity to be something big. He could have been one of those. I'm speculating. I don't know the kid's story like that. Maybe he was really in them streets. But I could tell you the way he acts, you know what I'm saying, towards females, he wasn't really in them streets, man. Real talk. Because a real, true street motherfucker, we don't have time. It's not even that. A real street dude and a real man, we don't have time to get in dust-ups with women. We just don't. We don't have time for that. You know what I'm saying? It's all about making money. It's all about being out there showing the world that you are a man and demanding respect by putting in the work and whatever you do. That's the essence of being a man. And coming home and taking care of your family. That's the essence of being a man. Not getting in dust-ups with women. That's one thing I never did. Whenever I get into some arguments with women, you know what I'm saying, I might call them a bitch and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I didn't air out their dirty laundry. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, me and my boys, you know what I'm saying? We know what you like to do in your free time, you know what I'm saying? You like to serve up the crew. I don't do all that, man. Never did all that. Never did it. Now, a lot of women gonna get mad at this statement, but it is what it is. Women are the emotional creatures. Emotions come before logics with women. The majority of women, not all, right? So when you're a man and you're dealing with an emotional creature, you just need to let that emotional creature live. Because at the end of the day, you're going to lose the battle, regardless of what you think you said that was the shit, or you think you had a leg up in that situation. You're going to lose the battle. Understand, as a man, and when you're taking care of your responsibilities as a man, everybody's going to look up to you, even the women. And quite honestly, I really believe Ayanna Mayweather likes the kid. He's just too stupid to realize it. But anyway, man, he needs to put a head on his shoulder. He's got a great opportunity in front of him. And the more dust-ups and situations he gets involved in, the more he's going to squander it, man. He needs to really look at his manager and mentor, Andre Ward. He is an excellent example of a guy that stayed level-headed his entire career. He needs to look up to that guy and say, hey, I want to be like that guy. And he said that's what he wanted, but he's not acting like it. So maybe Andre Ward, Jay Prince, they need to sit the kid down and be like, hey, man, this is what we got laid out in front of you. You keep fucking with that, we're just going to let you ride off in the sunset. And it'll be whether you're successful or not, we're not going to help. Maybe they need to put that reality into his head, man. I don't know. It is what it is. YouTube, do what you do in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this topic, but be real, be interesting to see if he faces any charges of his influences of Jay Prince and Top Rank. The people up Top Rank will be able to get him out of this situation. Apparently there's witnesses to it, and there's a surveillance video, and both men were arrested. David Brayton and Shakur Stevenson, they were arrested after the altercation. I think they were arrested at a hotel or something like that. So whatever information they got, they were able to track these kids back down, and they were able to get them. So evidently they did something. You know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting as this shit develops, and I'll let y'all know. All right? Do what you do in the comment section. Be real. Just real talk for real fans. One.